We live in a time now where cameras are everywhere. Cameras are everywhere. There's nowhere you can go, no place you can hide, nothing you can do about it. But cameras are everywhere and they're always running. They're recording every little thing you do. They're recording where you go. They're recording you coming down the highway. They're recording you once you get to the grocery store. They're recording you when you get to friend's house. They're recording you if you get to my house. They're recording you everywhere you go. Cameras are always apparent. You could be outdoors in the street. You could be just standing there mind your own business. Somebody could be recording you. A lot of people don't understand that you got to live a life where you're not worried about cameras everywhere you go, because that would make you paranoid. Because see, people are allowed to use their cameras anywhere and everywhere. You go to the park, they can record you in the park no matter where you go. I mean, a lot of times we just live this life where we're worried about who sees us do this and who sees us do that. And I just seem to feel as though that, when we try to live right and we try to do right, we don't worry about these cameras. The cameras are there for your protection and for your safety. And then sometimes we think about the fact of even our neighbors. Our neighbors could be secretly recording you as you leave home, coming and going. You're under surveillance all the time. It seems like in this life, there is no place, nowhere you're going to go no more where you feel as though it's a private conversation you're having or a private place that you're at or anything private anymore. There's nothing private anymore. Because I remember back in the day when I was coming up, we never had all this. We never had all this. And you know what it does? It actually builds non-trust. A lot of people feel like they can't be trusted, and so they don't trust others. Because if you worry so much about somebody recording you or somebody taking pictures of you or somebody filming you, this, that, and the other thing, it's like saying, what are we doing? What are we doing? Or are we living a life where we're afraid to be recorded? Or is it just the fact of it bothers you to be recorded? Y'all type that down in the comments. What do y'all think about the fact that we live in a time now where cameras are everywhere and people pull out their cameras and record you even in the street, and that they will record you in the midst of you, even if you was in a situation where cameras can help you, cameras can actually protect you. And a lot of times we feel as though we don't want people looking at us. Remember when you was a kid and you would always say, why are you looking at me? What you looking at me for? You see, those are questions we used to ask when we were kids. Why are you looking at me for? And somebody could look at you and rub you the wrong way, or they could look at you in a way that you wonder, what's happening. Now they ain't even got to look at you. All they got to do is they could actually pretend they're on their phone. They could hold their phone up and they could be looking at you right while you over there minding your own business. They could be looking at you on their screen. Does that bother you, knowing that people have that much access? That people are allowed to, use their cameras in public to take pictures or do whatever they want to do out in public? I mean, it's public access. I mean, is there any laws that tell us that we can't use our phones or we can't take pictures or you can't be filmed or any of the nature? So many people don't like to be recorded or don't like to be filmed. There even is a button even on this very phone that I got right here now that says, you are being recorded. This can be a recorded conversation. Now people can record you and you can record them. But so many places you do got to let people know that you are also recording. And some people won't even do that. They won't even let you know that they're recording. So we live in this life now where there's no secrets. There's really no secret. There's nothing you can do that's going to be in secret anymore, because most of the time everything you do is open. Even when you home now, some people say they got cameras in their house or they got cameras on their house. Now they want to take them cameras down. I've had people have this conversation saying they want to take their cameras down because they feel like their cameras are secretly surveillance watching them. And that's a lot of paranoia as far as I'm concerned. That's a lot of paranoia as far as I'm concerned. And it may be, may not be, but is that something that you're going to worry about every single day of your life? Is that something that you feel is going to not cause you to be stressed out? Why do we go and buy things when we're dealing with so much non-trust issues as what we have today? We have so many reasons not to trust. And when people don't trust you, they don't want you in their house. They don't want you in their car. They don't want you around them. They don't even much want to talk to you. Or they will do those things, but they'll keep you at bay and they'll keep you in a space where, I guess that's why the word said don't trust no man. Who can you trust? Who can you trust? Do you really have full trust? Have you given anybody besides the Lord that space in your life where you feel you can trust them wholeheartedly? I mean, a lot of times we think about these type of things. If you see a camera on your neighbor's house, do you automatically think that they're surveillancing you? Do you automatically think that they're policing you, or the fact that they are monitoring you, or this, that, and other thing? Or could the camera just be setting that way? Could the camera just be focusing that way? And then it's like saying, you know, a lot of times when I think about stuff like that, I personally look at it like, you know, with me and my trusting self, I be thinking, okay, it's good to somebody watching the house. That way, if I leave the house, they'll be able to tell me who comes and who goes. They'll be able to tell me whose car left and what car left and this, that, and the other thing. But a lot of people don't think like that. They tell me a lot of times that talking to people, that they feel as though that if they look up and they see a camera on their neighbor's house and it's facing them, they'll feel like, you know, they are watching them, or why is it facing that way, or but they could be just monitoring that side of their house. It may not even be looking at you, or it may just happen to be focused that way, and your house just happen to be there in that space, but they want to see all around their house. I've had this conversation with several neighbors and several people about these cameras and why these cameras are positioned the way they're positioned on the house. A lot of times when you go to ADT and places like that, they'll come out and put your cameras up, and they'll position them where they think it's safer for you, so they'll put them where they need to be. And a lot of times, sometimes that will irritate people of why they're sitting in that position. I've had that happen to me before in different places I've lived, where I had ADT come and put up the camera, and the neighbors assumed that the camera was watching them. And I hardly ever had to access the camera because there was never nothing on it. Because like I said, I didn't feel as though that I had to watch my camera 24/7. But you got some people that live a life of destruction, or they live a life in a place where they so mean and so nasty to people, to the point where they think everybody's after them, so therefore they gotta watch the camera 24/7, or they in a situation where, you know, I don't know. It's just the fact that, to me, I don't want to live that life of stress like that. I don't want to be in a position where I gotta be worried about the camera, because cameras are everywhere. I don't know of no place where there's not cameras, you know what I'm saying, other than bathrooms. And then you got to be careful with that too now, because people are buying these little miniature cameras and sticking them everywhere. So it's like saying, you know, you just got to be able to move around, you know what I'm saying, know how to scan. You know, there's a little scanner that they sell on what was it? It was on TikTok, I think I seen it, where they said you can take that scanner, you can scan any room, and it'll pick up any camera anywhere. And maybe if you're that paranoid, you might want to try to order one of those, or something that can relieve you of the anxiety and the stress of even thinking on those terms all the time. Because when I feel as though that I want to go someplace, I just want to get in my car and I want to go and I want to enjoy my trip. And that's what I be thinking about as I'm headed out to my trip, enjoying myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to spend my whole day trying to be private detective, being Inspector Gadget and all that kind of stuff. And I know with the world we're living in today, you do have to be careful, you have to be safe, and yet and still you don't want to live your life to the point where you're afraid to go on vacation, or you're afraid to move or do anything positive, you know, because of the fact that you're worried about some old craziness all the time. You know, I love the situation of being able to get in my car and just take a ride, you know what I'm saying, and just enjoy. You know, I haven't had a scoop of ice cream in a long time, so I think the next time I go out, I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop and have myself a scoop of ice cream, something to reward myself. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just got to reward yourself and pamper yourself and give yourself what yourself need. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got to be a whole lot of that at one time, but it can be a little small reward that you can reward yourself. Because if you try to sit here and say, well, I'm not gonna, just like when they talking about these 2026 2027 cars coming out with cameras on the inside, cameras all around them. Cameras are gonna be everywhere. Now, if you get a car and the car got cameras on the inside, car got cameras on the outside, and are you going to buy that car? A lot of people saying no, they're not going to buy that 2027 because of the cameras that's going to be on the inside of it, and because of the emotional detection that it's going to have, and all the things that's going to come with it. But yet and still, people are buying cameras, and they buying body cams to put on, and they was buying cameras to put in their dashboards, and they were buying cameras, backup cameras and things of that nature, trying to get these things safety on the car. Now it's time for the cars to come out with them, and you're going to get them on the vehicle inside and out, you know, to be able to videotape what's going on. You don't have to buy it or already be embedded in the system. Now people don't want it. See, it's like saying some people can't be satisfied. Some people cannot be satisfied no matter what you do or how you try to do it. There will be no satisfaction. Even though a lot of people feel this is a negative, in so many ways it could be a positive. You don't know. It could bless and save somebody's life too as well. I mean, because we got to think about things on a different level at this point, because these things is nothing we can do about them, and they are coming. So if that's what's going to ready to roll out, you may not buy it because we're older. We may not go get it, but this new generation, this younger generation, this they're going to go buy these very same cars, and they're going to be riding around in these very same vehicles. And it's like saying, you know, that's their new future. That's the new future of the younger ones that's coming up. A lot of the older people may still have their old cars, and they may still have some cars that don't have no cameras, no place. You know, they still may have some of them old cars from back there in the 70s and back there in the 80s and back there in the 90s. And here we are now all the way up to 2000. But will those cars be able to stay on the road? That's going to be the thing. If they can't surveillance them cars, do you think that they're going to leave them cars in operation? Or do you think they're going to come up with a law to be able to pull those cars from the road? I mean, because if that's the thing that they're planning on doing, and they want to surveillance you, and they want to police you, and they want to make sure that they can see who you are and see where you're going and see how fast you're driving, and be able to see and hear what's going on in that vehicle and what's being said. I mean, I just think it's going to be something of the future, and it don't have to be a negative thought. It really doesn't. Especially if you're like me, you're a boring type person in so many ways. You know, you like to have fun, you like to giggle, you like to laugh, and you try to do things the right way, the best you possibly can. You know, I'm not saying I'm not, I don't make no mistakes, because God knows I do a lot of them, and I'm still learning. Even at my age, I'm still learning, and so therefore it's like saying, but to have cameras inside the vehicle, sometimes for the older generation, I think it'll be a blessing, because you don't know with the health risks that we have and the things that may be going on within the body, you might need that camera to help you get to where you need to be, and somebody can be able to see what's going on inside that vehicle as it's happening in real time. So I just wanted to throw that out there just to see exactly how people are feeling about all the cameras. Now, have you ever thought about that? Have you ever really thought about the fact of all the cameras that are going on today, and how we put cameras everywhere so we can make sure that our loved ones are safe, and that they're being taken care of, and all the things that, you know, your camera might catch on there, such as even when they be stealing these Amazon packages allegedly off of people's doorsteps. You know, cameras are picking up a lot nowadays, and I really believe that they're well needed, and I think they getting a bad rep when they should be celebrated in certain instances, in certain situations. I mean, I know there's always a way that people can use things for their own sickness or abuse things, but for the most part, I really believe that it's a blessing. I really believe that it's a blessing for us to be able to be in this era of time now, where we can see things ahead of time, where we can see things before they happen, or after they done happen, or we can see what has happened, you know. So I just wanted to throw that out there about these cameras, because sometimes people feel as though that they want me to do videos on certain things, and this was one of them that I was asked to do a video on, about the cameras and why is there so many cameras, and how long are these cameras going to be in effect? Are we trusting the cameras that we put up? There's so many questions, but yes, we do. And yes, you can be, and another big question was, can I be videotaped? Because my neighbors allowed to videotape me. Yeah, you outside. If you outside and you in public, I don't see no, I mean, y'all type in the comments, what do you think? What do you think? I mean, because people videotape people outside all day long, and it don't seem like it's, I've never heard of it being illegal. So that's what I'm going to say about that. But I'm going to leave the floor open for y'all to talk about the cameras, and talk about how y'all feel about the cameras, and how y'all feel about the cameras inside of the vehicles, and all of that. I mean, it's all coming into play. We got cameras in our house. We got cameras on our phones. I mean, because y'all know when people out and they capture something they think can be a viral moment, they are excited about the fact that they had that camera and was able to access it at that time, to be able to get that footage, to be able to get it to TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, wherever they think they need to get it, so they, or all the platforms, so that they can get that viral movement. People are going to record. That's one thing they're going to do. They're going to record you. They're going to record anything you do that's crazy outside that they think that they can get a viral movement out of. They're going to record it. And some people just like to record stuff just to be recording. Some people like to take pictures. It's no different to me than bird watching. I'm a bird watcher. I got my binoculars. I like to bird watch, and that's just what I like to do. But I don't have I don't know how to use the right type of camera to be able to capture bird watching moments, you know what I mean? But I do like to go bird watching. That's another hobby that I do like to do. And again, it consists of using a camera, it consists of using binoculars, it consists of time and effort and energy. And it takes a lot of energy to sit there and watch another person all day long, or to watch somebody else's life. So with that being said, I just love y'all so much. And I pray that this video will help you understand why these cameras are out here. And these cameras are out here so that we can keep, as they say, honest people honest. That's how I look at it. The cameras are to keep honest people honest. That's all I can see. All right, I thank y'all so much. Why? Because people that ain't honest, they don't care nothing about your cameras. But I love y'all so much. With that being said, consider subscribing to the channel. I would love to have you subscribed over here. If you've not turned your notification bells on, please turn your notification bells on and keep them cameras rolling. Be blessed.